We are smack in the middle of this massive AI revolution. And it's forcing us to ask some really big questions about what it means to be human. And maybe one of the biggest questions is about our creativity. Are our creative sparks about to get snuffed out by AI? Well, we're going to dig into that question by looking at the fascinating work of Professor Ronald Beghetto.
So this is the big one, right? This is the question on everyone's mind. Are these incredibly powerful tools going to make our own creative abilities obsolete? And look, that's a totally legitimate fear. But to even begin to answer it, we first have to get really clear on what we're actually afraid of losing.
So before we can figure out if AI is a threat or maybe an ally to creativity, we gotta agree on what creativity actually is. And honestly, the answer might surprise you.
Okay, so according to Professor Beghetto, creativity isn't just about coming up with wild, random ideas out of thin air. Real, true creativity has two essential ingredients. It has to be new, of course, but, and this is the important part, it also has to be meaningful. It has to be useful. Think of it as originality that's shaped by a specific goal or a problem you're trying to solve.
This makes the whole idea a lot more concrete. Imagine a chef. If they just throw a bunch of random, totally new ingredients into a pot and create something, well, disgusting and inedible, that's just originality. Yeah, it's new, but it's totally meaningless. True creativity is when that chef crafts a dish that's not only new and surprising, but also absolutely delicious. It solves the problem of making an amazing meal.
So the secret ingredient for actually encouraging this kind of real creativity, especially when we're learning, is something Beghetto calls structured uncertainty. What does that mean? It means you provide a clear goal, that's the structure, but you leave the path to get there wide open, that's the uncertainty. You don't map out every single step, and it's in that open space where real creativity gets a chance to flourish.
And right into that open, creative space now steps generative AI. This is a tool with just unprecedented power, and it presents us with this critical choice, a real fork in the road for how we learn, how we work, how we create. Honestly, this might be the single most important choice we'll have to make about AI.
So Professor Beghetto sees two main paths stretching out in front of us. On one side, you've got fast AI, where we risk becoming, well, digital puppets. And on the other side, you have slow AI, where the machine becomes a powerful creative partner. Let's tackle the dangerous path first. The fast path. This is the path of least resistance. It's the route of convenience, of overdependence. It's what happens when we use AI to just get a quick, polished answer without ever really engaging our own minds.
And listen, this is not just some hypothetical fear. The data is already coming in. A usage report from Anthropic's AI, Claude, found that nearly half of users with education email addresses were using it in a direct response kind of way. Basically, just asking a question and copying the answer. A lot of people are already walking down this fast path.
And the end of that path? It's pretty bleak. As Professor Beghetto puts it, you end up in this grim, almost dystopian loop where learning is just completely outsourced. An AI generates an essay for a student, and then another AI grades it for the teacher. There's no real thinking, no actual learning. It's just machines talking to machines through us.
Okay, but here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that way. Thankfully, there is another option, the slow path, and it offers a much more hopeful, much more empowering future. This is the path of partnership. The slow AI mindset is all about fundamentally changing our relationship with the tool. Instead of asking it for the answer, we use it to explore possibilities. We treat it like a colleague, a fresh perspective that we can debate with, question, and ultimately build upon. The whole goal is to augment our own thinking, not to replace it.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, the process is everything. You always start with your own ideas, your own rough draft. Then you bring those ideas to the AI for feedback, just like you would with a trusted friend or a mentor. But then, and this is absolutely critical, you bring it all back into your own mind to process, to refine, and to make the final decision. The human always maintains ownership.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. Professor Beghetto actually lived it. He wanted to build his own custom AI tools, but he didn't know the coding language, Python. So, with that clear goal in his head, he used ChatGPT as a personal tutor. Over just a weekend, it taught him enough so that he could build his own app. Now think about that. He didn't ask it to build the app for him. He asked it to teach him how to build it. That is slow AI in a nutshell.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it?
Let's break down the principles and some of the tools you can use to put this really powerful method into practice.
All right, here are the core principles. First, it all starts with having a clear goal. You can't be creative if you don't know what you're trying to achieve. Second, you need your own knowledge to be able to judge the AI's output. You have to be open to its suggestions, but also ready to push back. And here's a huge one. We need to move from simple prompt engineering to what he calls context engineering. Give the AI rich, detailed background on your goals, not just a one-line command. And above all else, remember, you are always in the driver's seat.
And this is where it gets really cool, where the theory becomes practice. Professor Beghetto went and actually built custom bots that are designed for this slow AI approach. For instance, the Possibility Lab bot acts like a thinking partner, asking you questions to help you explore your own ideas. Then you have the Lesson Unplanning bot, which is amazing. It helps teachers inject that crucial structured uncertainty back into their lesson plans. See, these aren't answer machines, they are thinking partners.
So when you zoom all the way out, you start to realize this choice between the fast path and the slow path, it isn't just about our individual productivity. This is about the entire future of education itself. You see, the real danger of AI isn't that students are going to use it to cheat on their homework. The much bigger, much more profound threat, as Beghetto argues, is a crisis of meaning. If education just becomes about delivering content and then having students reproduce that content, then AI is always going to do it better. Learning loses its purpose, and when that happens, we all lose.
So this is the choice right in front of us. We are at a critical fork in the road. Are we going to take the fast path, the easy path, and become digital puppets? Or will we choose the slower, more deliberate path and learn how to dance with these incredible new creative partners? The entire future of learning really does depend on the choice we all make right now.